So Bonnie Blue's recent stunt is her most twisted yet. It shouldn't be possible, but somehow it is. It's been a rough 12 months when it comes to Bonnie Blue, but right now, I think the discourse is at an all-time low. We've got some of her fellow OnlyFans demons comparing her to Rosa Parks, and somehow, in this last week, she's actually been playing up to this comparison. She's in the back of a bus, the bang bus specifically, and I think it's probably fair to say that her rights are being violated back there, so you know what.
And if the Bonnie Blue bang bus crashes into us.
This is where it all began for Bonnie, and obviously recently she ain't been that active, so she is probably hungering for souls. The effort she's putting into this is slightly foreboding because she is popping up basically everywhere.
Can you do that to me?
What?
Can you do that to me?
Anytime.
Let's
You
go.
gonna bring your dad?
Yeah, I'm a dad. Oh, I've just met Bonnie Blue. What the hell?
Now, there's probably a joke about putting the hoe in Soho there, but I'm not going to go down that path because that would be disgusting. What I'm more concerned with, though, is what she's going to be doing on this tour. Because that whole thing, especially in the media, is to dress up what she's doing as like a safe alternative. In fact, just this week, she went on a podcast and she explained this.
18-year-olds, when they lose their virginity, it's an unsafe environment. They've probably been drinking. They're under the influence. They haven't discussed consent. They haven't discussed the choking, the hair pulling and all of that. And that could be damaging for him.
With that in mind, she is offering to let them climb into the back of a van. I don't really know many people who are going to be out on Freshers. Well, I don't know many people on Freshers. I don't know anyone on Freshers. The point is people ain't going to be out on Freshers sober, so I don't know what she's expecting. And with what she's offering, I don't actually know what could be more damaging than that. It's arguably the worst case scenario for an 18-year-old. But clearly that don't matter because she is on tour right now. So there's probably something wrong with these t-shirts, and she is going to reveal that down the line. Despite that, though, people across the country are snapping them up. T-shirts aside as well, it is foreboding that she is like slowly creeping down the country. There seems to be like this mutual fear amongst almost everybody that's seen these videos. Why is she getting closer? Every one of these videos I'm given, only 11k people feel that way. She somehow even got whole academic institutions terrified. University silent as Stars Bang Bus approaches Oxford. I like how this makes her seem like some kind of being of pure cosmic horror. Only 168k people are feeling that way. It's probably nothing to worry about.
Brilliant Roots, come with me, you're my new best friend. Sorry, I like you.
Finding Freshers in a Weatherspoons is a bit like finding Bevo in a Bonnie Blue lineup. Kind of playing unfair there, just a little bit. And it's hard to tell how much of this is fake, although she is here taking photos with 18-year-olds. Probably wouldn't have done that, mate. Probably not. Sadly, when it comes to it being real, I have come across something genuinely disgusting. I mean, in all these Bonnie Blue videos I've done, this might be the worst discovery because there is a lad on TikTok. He's 18 and his whole professional career is following her around.
Kiss or slap?
Oh, kiss. That's what 1,057 men taste like.
Now, he's traded 7 years off his life for that, and by the look on his face, doesn't look like it was worth it. This lad is being compromised in real time, so it is kind of hard to know what to say. And the comments were equally shook, to be fair. What happened, Mush? Used to skate with you at the projects, bruv. Imagine losing contact with one of your old mates, and this is how you reunite.
And if the Bonnie Blue bang bus.
So we'll ignore the caption because at this point, he's already hit rock bottom. The comments are split. 25k people seem to think he looks like a lesbian mother of four. I kind of got to disagree though because this guy looks about 12. There's this one photo on his Instagram, which is from the infamous Bonnie Blue school shoot. Bonnie Blue school shoot is a bit of an oversight in the marketing, to be fair, but we'll move on. The point is he does look young and the comments do seem to agree.
You are one of Bonnie Blue's 18-year-old victims.
Yes. Not victim, because I enjoy it.
How did that come about?
She messaged me saying, do you want to be in a video?
Now, with storytelling abilities like this, it's a wonder he's had to go down this path because he could have done anything, really. Clearly, though, the freshly 18 gimmick on OF is very profitable. That's why so many people do it. And it's been enabled by Bonnie Blue, so we'll see what it's done to him.
You 18 when she messaged you? Okay.
In a school, not an actual school.
What was Bonnie Blue like to with?
Fun.
The charisma is emanating from him. I can't believe he's gone down this path, really. There's a chance he asks her what her favourite colour is next, so we'll stay tuned for that if it ever comes out. That's about the best of it, because the rest of it is just boring, really. And when it's not boring, it is actually... it's borderline slanderous.
What letter name is the biggest freak in the sheets?
J.
Why J?
Just got a feeling.
But yeah, this story so far also has had an unhappy ending. Because obviously this guy turned up at the bus. What else was he going to do?
And if the Bonnie Blue Bang bus crashes into us,
You're literally 8,300 years old, Bonnie. You gotta stop this. And in digging into all of this, I have come across some stuff that has completely contradicted what she said earlier. Because you know she does the gimmick, as I said, where she pretends this is a safe thing for 18-year-olds to do. Well, I found the Bonnie Blue documentary, and it turns out that internally, this is not what she actually thinks.
But then it's also a parent's responsibility to say, hey, there's people in the world that do mass murders. Doesn't mean you do that.
Now, defending your actions by comparing yourself to a mass murderer is an interesting choice. I wouldn't have done it personally. And I know I'm preaching to the choir at this point, but everybody is saying, imagine how her parents feel. Well, it turns out we don't need to anymore, because in this documentary, her mum actually did speak.
You know, she's got no daddy issues, she's not been abused, and all these things that people insist that must have happened to her.
A bit of positivity to begin the documentary. We'll take it. We'll take it. Sadly, that's obviously not going to last, because they quickly pivoted.
People like I know always liked us both, but then now think it's okay to put sort of like nasty comments.
Now, again, it probably goes without saying, but if you're living in like a small community and after years you come out with things like this that are plastered all over the internet.
What was it like after cleaning the gangbang of Bonnie's?
Messy.
Messy.
Yes,
How so?
very. Hundreds of condoms, boxer shorts.
Well, I imagine people are going to feel a certain way after that, because it is whiplash, really. It is hard to get into the minds of these people, but I feel like if she did just support her, then it would be different. That's obviously not what's happening, though, because she is actively engaging in it and trying to justify it constantly.
Most of the time I just laugh because I'm like, do you know, if you could earn £1 million in a month, your morals would soon change and you'd get your bits out. I don't care what people say. They all say they've got all these high morals.
Now, on one hand, there's high morals. On the other hand, there's driving around in a van, picking up drunk 18-year-olds. And there's always the suspicion that she is just masking, you know, deep down she is really just hurting. Not that hard to believe, to be honest. And I think after what you're about to see, this may be the consensus. Because on this attempted comeback tour, Bonnie Blue has done a lot of podcasts, and I watched a clip from one of them. And the story she told, I don't really know how else to say it other than it is traumatizing.
I did a documentary recently and it showed a lot of facts. It showed a lot of the things I get up to. And I actually took my family to the screening. And some of the journalists was disgusted.
I mean, that's weird. Why are the journalists so sensitive there? Can't even watch your own adult content with your family anymore. I mean, the world has gone mad. I think to deep how weird this actually is, you do need to watch the documentary. And I don't recommend doing that. But it is quite literally full of explicit content around Bonnie specifically. So with that in mind, this may be the worst humiliation ritual of all time.
It was hard to watch it with them, for sure. It was.
Did you know it was going to be as explicit as it was?
I'd watched a rough edit and I knew there was going to be sex in there. I did not know it was going to be as explicit as it was. And I was thinking during it, like I was sat next to my dad, my grandma was there, my mum, my sister, her boyfriend. And there was times where I couldn't look at the screen. I had my head down.
What was that sensation that came up for you?
It was me showing my pussy saying, I've just been railed by X amount of people.
I think by this point, we do know that most of those people are already too far gone. But bringing grandma, come on, mate, she don't deserve that. Even weirder, though, is when they asked her to describe how she felt. She couldn't do it. And I think this may be proof that Bonnie Blue cannot feel emotions.
That's what was on the screen. What was the sensation that came up for you when you were sat in the seat?
I just felt a bit sick. And it wasn't because of what I'd done. It was just, this is the first time my family have really been exposed to this right now, when they're sat front row in like this cinema room and they've got journalists behind them.
I'm going to just keep my sort of foot on this point for a second.
Yeah.
Beyond feeling sick, what was the emotion that came up? Like, what was the feeling? What was the sense beyond physically how it manifested in your body?
I was just hoping like my dad was okay. Like, I think...
Again, that's not an emotion.
It is a bit like a droid in real time trying to work out how to feel. I'm glad she is concerned about her dad, though. She only brought him to the premiere of this documentary. Again, you'd have to watch it to understand. Maybe some of you have. I don't recommend it. All I know is I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Apart from literally feeling sick and thinking like, oh my gosh, I hope my dad's okay. That was all that was going through my mind and what I was feeling.
What were you worried he might feel?
I don't know, like potentially be disgusted, potentially think this is too
humiliated?
Much. Yeah,
you mentioned
possibly.
front row, so they've got journalists looking at them. So was that feeling of like
the
exposure?
journalists behind? Yeah, it was hard, and I would just Like, I always want to protect my dad. Like, my dad is super sweet.
Was super sweet. I can imagine this event did change him. I just can't believe we're here. You know, every single video, it does get worse somehow. I don't know how much longer this can go on for, so like and sub, because we will be there. And with that said, I'll leave you with one more quote.
What do you think is bothering them? They prefer me to do a cooking show and a yoga retreat. I'd prefer to have my insides rearranged and do gangbangs for the world. That's the difference.